It's not even about being a Democrat anymore. Okay, you too.
I have a lot of political coverage to edit, so
so you're
I'm going to vote based on looks, like I usually do.
Thank you.
So I think the answer is obvious, Mike.
Well, I live in the bush, so it's a little harder to get all the information I need, but I think my partner Nancy would agree. I think I would too, yes.
All right.
Just for that reason alone.
Suck it, Lisa. A national question. What do you think of the U.S. government, the Coast Guard, suppressing news, pictures of BP's disaster in the Gulf? I'm confused. Didn't we have a revolution to keep the Brits out of our business?
Haha.
You're not confused.
No.
Well, it's pretty bizarre if you think about.
We need to declare a revolution against fossil fuels right now. That's what I think.
We do.
We're hurt more.
In the meantime, this censorship, I mean, there has to be censorship. We know this. I don't remember exactly what cameras looked like in 1989, but they weren't in the back of your cellular telephone. We had so many more pictures coming out.
What was in the back of your cellular telephone in 1989?
It was a backpack.
Oh no, I'm telling you,
That's right.
we did have a cellular phone on the Exxon spill because I was a responder. And the thing was like as big as a loaf of bread, and you were like, hello, hello.
It's like
hello.
that thing on MASH where they carried it around in the
Yeah,
case.
it was ridiculous.
How were there no pictures? So this is how were there not more pictures, more images? Where's the National Geographic? Where is this?
Yeah, it's curious.
Well, it just goes to show you how much control this country, corporations have over this country, not just BP, all of them.
That's exactly what it shows.
Yep.
It does. How do you argue with someone who values going 10 or more miles over the speed limit over a child's life in relation to speed humps? Oh, a background for people that live outside of Anchorage. We have several districts who have obtained hundreds of thousands of dollars to the tune of $700,000 to get speed humps in neighborhoods where there's a lot of kids. Some of these neighborhoods have apartment buildings, so they don't have yards. And the mayor of Anchorage, his name is Dan Sullivan. Remember it and never ever check any box that says Dan Sullivan, even if it's the Attorney General's Dan Sullivan. They're kind of the same. So, and he has decided he doesn't want to spend this money on speed humps. I don't know if it's because he doesn't want to be known as the speed hump mayor. If he thinks that's going to mean something else, I don't understand it. So basically, 343-7100 is his phone number.
You can come over to where we live. We don't pay anything for our speed humps. They're called tree roots. And they're at Lake Hood. There's new speed humps at Lake Hood.
So Lake Hood now has
at the airstrip, yes.
At the airstrip has speed
and they're
humps.
nice ones too.
Yeah, because there's a lot of kids playing there.
Right.
How do you argue with someone who's, you don't argue with them, you vote them out of office or make it so that they have to quit?
That's right. Well, it's insanity the way it happened too, with Bill Wielechowski, Senator Wielechowski, and Representative Pete Peterson bringing back free money, $350,000 for this purpose alone.
Right.
And for the mayor to say, we don't want to spend, $100,000 in operating costs.
We don't want your stimulus funds.
That's right. Get rid of it.
They have strings attached.
Right,
That's
and
right.
there was a 6-year-old girl that was hit by a car, like a block away. The city council has said, we want these. They've written a resolution, just their community council there. They've asked, this money's come through. Sean Parnell actually signed it. And I don't know, the mayor apparently thinks children should be speed humps. I don't know. There's no other thing I can think.
Along with the firefighters.
That's right.
That and the firefighters and the police department. And if you're not a party planner in this town, you're screwed. And if you are one, maybe you are too.
You knew it was coming, and you couldn't stop it. It just kept coming. It was like a tsunami. It was coming. It was a wall of water.
Hold me back if you think that you can. Are you also prepared to deal with the pitfalls and added cost of industry of renewable resources? Broken, unfixable reliability issues with hydro winds. You know what? I have never heard of a wind farm spill where people just like whipped out their kites because there was nothing else they could do, or they don't have to start spraying SPF when the solar panels go crazy on all of their citizens. Don't even. I had someone call into the show, the radio show, and they said, well, wind farms kill 350,000 birds a year, and I was like, oh my God, really? Oh. And so I look it up. Cats kill 3.5 million.
Well, if you're a Kennedy, wind farms block your view.
That's right.
But I'm
And
not.
that's a problem. So it's fine for you.
But I could be. Just kidding.
Yeah.
There are upkeep costs, there are personnel costs associated with renewable energy. It's not free just because the wind's out there. So, you know, that's stuff you got to think
We have
about.
them out where we live, and you know, we use solar, we use inverters. We don't use as much fuel as you would think because, like John said, it costs money to bring fuel out there. So
And Gus Davis just went 100%
Yep.
off of diesel.
and we live cheap.
Congratulations, Gus Davis. Kodiak's at 89% renewables right now. They're saving 800,000 gallons of diesel every year
Hard
in the
to
first
argue
year.
with that.
And you're doing that as well.
Yeah, I don't have the wind. One of our neighbors does, and like we even get internet off the Wi-Fi tower with the wind deal, and we use
ideally,
inverters.
you know, you should be able to then take your excess energy and feed it back into the grid.
Several neighbors have the windmills. We're looking into it.
I know, it looks like, it's like,
Wind generated from, and also water generated.
you go to wind and solar and it's like, why do you hate America? You would think oil means America. It doesn't. It just doesn't. How can Sean Parnell possibly be ahead in the polls? Why? Does anyone else have a shot? David Shurtleff, you're the pro on this, bucko.
Oh, he's a social conservative, and social conservatives have far more sway in the state than the Chamber of Commerce conservatives, and we saw that when Sarah Palin defeated Frank Murkowski. The good news for us on the progressive side is that there's a big old rift in that party that I don't think the media talks enough about, but you have the business folks on one side, and you have the social conservatives on the other, and sometimes the business people will come support our guys, and we see this in the Fairbanks borough, where now Mayor Hopkins is in office. I think the first Democrat to ever hold that seat. So
Or
it's pretty
Tony
impressive.
Knowles.
That's right.
You know, two-term governor, definitely a Democrat, but also a pragmatist.
Well, you know, Tony was the best Republican governor that they'd had in a while. Since I'm totally kidding. You're right, though, but the values, like the values for development were very Republican. But Tony, you know, was definitely social Democrat. And I think that that's really what Alaskans are probably more attracted to. Most Alaskans don't want people up in their uterus when it comes to these, you know, unless you could pick. No, but you don't really want people trying to control your body or who you marry or these things. We don't live in Alaska and scrape our windows for 8 months out of the year so that somebody tells you what you can do with your body and who you're going to love. Most people are like, this is what I feel like, but I don't care about anybody else. So, what the hell is the matter with Craig Medred? Who wants to take this?
Boy.
Nothing.
I'm guessing it's oil fumes and he doesn't know it.
He didn't get mauled by that grizzly bad enough. That's what's wrong.
I suppose I'm supposed to answer this
If
question.
a bear throws you back, Craig, just saying.
What the hell is wrong with Craig Medred? Well,
I didn't write that question. This isn't mine.
Craig is very passionate. And, you know, and Craig's opinions are not my opinions, or not the opinions of the Alaska Dispatch. They're Craig's opinions, and he's entitled to them. And I think, you know, the analogy that I used earlier in the evening, Shannon, before we went on the air is apt. Like, you have a racist uncle, and you love him anyway because he's your uncle.
So
that's how I feel about Craig.
If you're not in Craig Medred's family tree, then you don't have to love him. That's the whole point.
Well, you don't have to love anyone.
You have to love me.
All right, fair enough. It's your show. That's fine.
Why isn't BP letting cleanup workers wear respirators? Why isn't Obama making them? Did they learn anything during the Exxon Valdez spill? I think that maybe they're just reading too much of Craig Medred's writing.
Well, dispersants are, you know, I don't understand that at all, because, you know, we use the same Corexit on the slope. It's to set back scale and tubing for production and stuff like that. And it says, you know, when you handle it on a rig, gloves, apron, shield, respirator. Try smelling that stuff. It takes your breath away.
Oh, you mean when they don't have people with cameras there to document
Right.
you, they make sure you wear a shield? And
Well, it depends on how the operation's going. If they're behind, then they just look the other way. But you're supposed to. It's in the procedures.
well, I don't know why people think that their own physical body fat isn't going to have the same reaction and disperse. Your brain is made up of fat, basically. And it doesn't mean eating Cheetos is going to make you smarter. But why would it do anything different to your own body than it does to crude?
Yeah. Well, the real problem is, well, it's really two things. One, these devices cost money and they're a corporation. And two, it's based on science.
Ooh, the
Evil
worm.
science.
Yeah.
And corporations hate science. We know this. They don't believe it. Really, so much of the far right nowadays. Anyways, there's such this anti-intellectual streak.
Well, I'm sorry, the rapture isn't our plan to clean up an oil spill.
That's right.
I mean, I just
But
have
it's
to say that.
natural, Shannon. It comes from the earth, like arsenic or snake venom.
Right.
It's not a threat.
Would anyone like a nice big glass of that? Thank you guys so much. This has been so much fun.
Yeah.
We'll do it again. We'll be back next week.